Have you ever stood in front of a house that just felt expensive, even before you stepped inside? That secret often starts right here, in the way tile and texture shape the front wall of a home. Walking up to this front wall feels like stepping into a calm, welcoming embrace. The warm beige and soft gray tiles glow under gentle daylight, their subtle staggered pattern guiding the eye effortlessly toward the doorway. The low-height angle makes the house feel grounded and protective, while the floating canopy casts a soft shadow that adds a quiet sense of shelter and intimacy. Standing in front of this wall, the geometric taupe and sand tiles feel like a peaceful rhythm under the sun. The frontal view centers the door and windows, making the entrance feel balanced and inviting, while the interplay between pattern tiles and smooth panels adds quiet depth. The neutral, earthy palette feels warm and soft, as if the house itself is quietly saying, "Welcome home." This facade feels calm and confident under a clear sky, the oversized concrete look tiles in cool gray and off-white giving the wall a solid, reassuring presence. The low-angle three-quarter view exaggerates the mass of the house in a way that feels protective, yet the light and shadow play across the surface keeps it soft and inviting. The recessed entrance framed by sleek metal and vertical strips feels like a dignified but warm threshold, shaded by a narrow overhang that shelters you from the day. From this angle, the stacked stone effect tiles in warm beige and soft gray feel grounded and peaceful, their textured surface catching the daylight like a quiet canvas. The slightly elevated frontal shot softens the depth of the wall, making the house feel approachable and serene rather than imposing. The recessed doorway, framed by vertical tile columns, feels like a gentle invitation, while the warm tones and subtle greenery create a cozy, earthy atmosphere that feels both modern and familiar. This wall feels bold yet restrained, the deep charcoal and warm sand tiles in a horizontal band grounding the house and drawing the eye steadily toward the entrance. The frontal view from a low angle gives the facade a sense of permanence, while the contrast between the dark tiles and light upper surfaces keeps it light and airy. Daylight softens the crisp lines, and the small touches of greenery add a gentle warmth, making the house feel confident, elegant, and quietly welcoming. This view feels like a quiet, refined chapter in a modern home story, the light gray and warm beige tiles in their offset grid adding gentle rhythm without overwhelming the eye. The three-quarter angle reveals the depth of the recessed doorway and side wall, making the space feel layered and intimate. The neutral palette glows softly under daylight, and the smooth but tactile tiles invite you to imagine their cool, matte texture, giving the facade a calm, collected elegance. Here, the subtle chevron-inspired pattern in cool gray and white feels like a soft whisper across the lower wall, adding gentle movement without breaking the serenity. The frontal eye-level shot centers the entrance and windows, making the space feel balanced and harmonious. The cool tones reflect the daylight in a clean, crisp way, while the transition from textured tile to smooth glass feels like a quiet conversation between surfaces, giving the facade a polished, calming presence. From this low-angle three-quarter view, the vertical strip tiles in warm sand and light gray feel like they stretch the house gently upward, lending a quiet grandeur without pretension. The elongated lines catch the sunlight in a way that makes the facade feel alive and airy, while the recessed entrance framed by narrow grooves adds a sense of shelter. The warm neutrals and subtle grout shadows create a soothing, grounded atmosphere that feels both modern and comforting. This band of off-white and warm gray tiles wrapping around the entrance feels like a gentle hug from the house itself, the smooth porcelain and textured stone surfaces playing off each other in soft contrast. The slightly elevated frontal angle compresses the depth, making the facade feel cozy and intimate, while the recessed doorway framed by slim tile columns feels like a quiet invitation inside. The daylight wraps around the material shifts, highlighting the tactile differences and giving the wall a refined, soothing presence. The large tiles in warm beige and soft charcoal laid in a shifting grid feel dynamic yet never chaotic, the subtle pattern guiding your gaze toward the doorway like a gentle path. The low-angle frontal shot emphasizes the scale of the facade, making it feel substantial and reassuring, while the clean daylight scatters evenly across the surface, softening the lines. The warm neutrals with a hint of cool gray give the space a relaxed elegance, as if the house is quietly proud of its balanced, modern skin. In this view, the light gray and warm beige tiles in a clean staggered stack feel like a steady, comforting rhythm climbing from the base to the first floor. The frontal eye-level shot centers the entrance and emphasizes symmetry, making the house feel poised and welcoming. The neutral palette glows softly under daylight, the matte texture of the tiles catching shadows in a way that feels calm and grounded. The simple recessed doorway framed by vertical strips feels like a dignified but gentle threshold, inviting you in with quiet confidence. From the very first glance, the way your front wall is designed sets the tone for everything to come. Thoughtful tile patterns, soft light, and calm proportions don't just look beautiful, they quietly invite you in and make the ordinary feel special.